So first of all, as an experiment, I've just roughly wired two of these pipe insulators, one to each side of this basket, which is pretty heavy, just to make sure that the principle's right and it is floating. So now I'll start to make it up. In a previous video I mentioned that I was going to have a go at making floating pond baskets for plants. That's the one I've just made. I'm about to make another. And to make it, I've used cable ties, insulation for piping, 3 baskets, some garden wire. Just a quick run through of how I did it. You might want to adapt it to your own ideas. I don't think this is perfect, but only time will tell. So the first thing I did was connect the baskets together. Hold them in place while you drill the holes so that you know that the holes are lining up. And then the same again. The next thing we need to do is start connecting this pipe insulation to the bottom part of the baskets. And the way I did it is thread the cable just through one basket, double it up on itself, return it, just making sure you've well enough wire to twist it round. Now don't pull that too tight, because if you start pulling it tight, the cable will just cut right through all these plastic ladders that the basket's made up of. Snip it off. Doesn't matter that the wire is sticking out inside, because the pond compost will just cover that. I'll just repeat that at this side, and then I'll do the insides first. So that needs cutting to size. So repeat the same again. So now moving on to the outside. Exactly the same principle. I don't know if you can see it. A bit awkward, but I'm twisting the wire around each other. And then just snipping it off. So you're left with that twisted part inside, but as I said before, it's only going to be filled with compost. So I'm cutting each piece to size as I go along. Right, this is the last one. I ran out of guiding cable, so I've had to use some thicker stuff. But the principle is exactly the same. Twist it, cut it. Right, let's take it to the pond and just drop it in. I'm just going to cable tie or use a bit of wire to fasten the baskets together here and here, because if you can notice when I press down they're separating, and just make it a bit more solid. So what I've done is put a piece right through, looping right round and coming out here, and the same at that side, so that it will stop that rocking. Right, let's try again. That's very more solid. Now what I found when I did the first one, I put a bit of membrane in the bottom to stop the compost falling into the pond, and then just finish it off with gravel. but you've got to be careful not to overfill or it'll start sinking. So I put some compost in each and kept topping it up until it started to sink. And then if you notice, I've tethered, I've put two masonry nails and one tent peg, and I've tethered the baskets to it just to stabilise them. So I'm going to put this next one is going over there in the corner. The media I'm using is called Aquasoil, and it seems to have a good mixture of, there's bits of gravel, looks like there's plant feed mixed in with it, and as you can see I'm just filling it up bit by bit, measured out, so that one side doesn't start sinking and so on and so forth. But without the tethers it would be a bit unstable, so it needs tethering. Okay, it's at the stage now where the pipe insulation that's keeping it afloat is just, top of it's just level with the surface of the pond. So I'll put the plants in, and then with the weight of the plants it'll probably just dip it below the surface. Okay, I've now finished it off with the gravel surface, so I'll tether it to that corner, but there are buoyancy issues. It's not perfect, but I haven't got a ledge to put any plants on, and this is the only solution I've got. But I certainly couldn't leave it floating around the pond, and as one of the people commented, a lad advised me, if you did have any type of floating plants in pots and you've got a waterfall, it'll end up getting dragged under the waterfall and turned upside down, so they do need tethering. It's staying there, but as I said, it's not robust enough to be left alone without it being tethered. So I'm going to get maybe two masonry nails and a tent peg and just tether it. So that's it, guys, and I ended up going with 3 masonry nails. One there. But that's now not going to go anywhere. It's very stable. When the plants start growing, it'll take the extra weight. So that's it. We should have a nice display of water plants in this corner and in the far corner. Right, I'll get cleaned up, get swept up and tidied. The only thing that bothers me, that anywhere in the pond where there's any filters or pipe work, I make sure that the pipe work's concealed so it looks like the water's coming out of the rock work, and any filters are hidden. So I didn't like the idea of being able to see this pipe insulator through the water, but I'm hoping over time that it'll get a bit of algae on it and blend in with the greenness, and all the plants are going to start overhanging into the water anyway. So only time will tell, but I don't think you'll be able to see the baskets or the pipe insulation, but I'll have to update you sometime in the future. So if you're watching these videos and you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe and support the channel. I think we're about 250 odd now. Thanks for watching Pomfret's Pond.